The rain hammered down like liquid steel, drumming against the expedition tent until it sounded more like a heartbeat than weather. Aiden Cross stared at the flickering flames of his portable heater, trying to convince himself that solitude was still romantic. It wasn't. It was just wet, cold, and profoundly boring. He recorded his log with half a smirk. Day 74 on EOS 9. No new species sighted. No signs of intelligent life, besides the one talking to himself. The storm outside roared louder, swallowing his joke. That's when his motion sensors blinked red. Something was moving, fast. He froze. EOS 9 wasn't supposed to have large fauna. Grabbing his pulse rifle, he stepped toward the tent flap. Through the sheets of rain, he saw a figure stumble out of the darkness, a silhouette glowing faintly blue-green, collapsing near the campfire shield. For a full 3 seconds, his brain refused to make sense of it. Then instinct kicked in. He rushed out, dragging the body under cover. The being was humanoid, female, and impossibly delicate. Her skin shimmered like living glass. She blinked up at him, eyes reflecting the firelight like amber crystals. "Don't let them find me," she whispered. Her voice was melodic, layered with a faint echo, as if another tone hid beneath the words. Aiden hesitated, caught between protocol and empathy. Then he sighed. "Right. You definitely don't look like local wildlife." He wrapped her in a thermal blanket. When his gloved fingers brushed her skin, his wristcom unit flickered. Static, short circuits, then total blackout. Every sensor went dead. "Great," he muttered. "You're either freezing or you're an EMP in disguise." She almost smiled. Both, maybe. That hint of humor, so human yet so alien, disarmed him completely. "Okay," he said, forcing calm. "Let's start simple. What do I call you?" "Lyra," she said, eyes darting to the tent entrance. "And you shouldn't have let me in." Before he could ask why, his perimeter alarm blared. 3 signatures approaching, 2 uniformed to be animals. Aiden's pulse spiked. "Who's coming?" Lyra met his gaze, fear flashing in those golden eyes. "Not rescuers," she breathed. "Hunters." And just like that, the quiet expedition turned into a storm far more dangerous than the one outside. Aiden killed the lights with a single tap, plunging the tent into darkness. Outside, mechanical hums cut through the rain. Steady, deliberate, not the sound of anything natural. "Who are they?" he whispered. Lyra's pupils dilated until her eyes looked almost black. The faint glow of her skin painted faint constellations on the tent walls. "Retrievers," she said softly. "They are not alive, not in the way you mean. They track emotional frequencies, fear, compassion, empathy, anything your kind still has." Aiden frowned. "You're saying they hunt feelings." "They hunt me," she corrected, "and anyone who feels too much." She pressed a trembling hand against her temple. The light beneath her skin pulsed erratically. "I used to work for them," she added. "For the Continuum." The word rolled off her tongue with a weight that made him uneasy. He could hear the machine sweeping closer, faint thuds on soaked ground. "The Continuum," Aiden asked. "That's what a government." "A civilization," she said, almost bitterly. "One that outgrew emotion centuries ago. They believe feelings are an evolutionary defect. My task was to observe emerging species like yours and test your emotional stability." Aiden gave a small, humorless laugh. "And let me guess, we failed." "No," she said, meeting his eyes. "You passed too well." Outside, the humming stopped. Silence. The kind that screams louder than sound. Lyra's glow dimmed. "I felt something when I studied your people. Empathy. Connection. It infected me. The Continuum doesn't tolerate that." Aiden exhaled slowly, trying to think past the pounding in his chest. "So you ran." "I ran," she confirmed. "And now they'll erase me and anything linked to my emotional signature." He processed that in grim silence. "So, letting you in might have just painted a target on my tent." She gave a fragile smile. "And yet you didn't hesitate." "Yeah," Aiden muttered. "Story of my life, bad at saying no to glowing fugitives." The faintest laugh escaped her lips, breaking the tension for a heartbeat. Then a red beam sliced across the tent wall, scanners locking in. Aiden reached for his rifle. "Well," he said, voice steady, "guess empathy's about to get field tested." The beam cut through the tent like a blade of light. Aiden didn't think. He grabbed Lyra's wrist and dove through the rear panel, ripping the fabric open as plasma scorched the spot they'd just occupied. The rain swallowed them instantly, the cold slamming into his lungs like glass. "Keep low," he shouted over the storm. Lyra moved with surprising agility, her skin flickering faintly in the darkness, beautiful and dangerously visible. Aiden ripped off his jacket and threw it around her shoulders, dimming her glow. They darted between twisted alien trees, their roots glowing like veins beneath the soil. Behind them, the retriever's searchlight swept through the forest, perfect, white, merciless. Aiden's pulse raced, his breath fogged in the air. "You said they track emotions," he gasped. "Any chance I hate cardio?" Lyra managed a breathless laugh. "Unlikely." Her humor sounded almost human, and for some reason, that made him run faster. When they finally stopped, crouched behind a massive fungal outcrop, Lyra pressed a hand to her temple. The light beneath her skin flickered wildly. "They are closing in," she whispered. "I can feel their signal. It resonates with my implant." Aiden frowned. "Implant." "A neural tag," she admitted. "A failsafe. If I fall out of sync with a continuum, it broadcasts my location. It's designed to punish betrayal." Her voice cracked on the last word. Something in it hit Aiden harder than the rain ever could. "Can you remove it?" "Not without killing me." He looked at her, really looked. The fear, the exhaustion, the strange warmth behind her guarded eyes. For the first time, she didn't seem like an alien at all. "Then I'll find another way," he said. Lyra blinked, confused. "Why would you risk that?" He almost smiled. "Because empathy's kind of my defect, too." Before she could respond, the forest exploded in white light. The retrievers had found them. A mechanical voice boomed through the rain. "Target acquired. Emotional contamination confirmed." Lyra gripped his hand, trembling. "If they catch me, they'll erase everything I felt, even you." Aiden raised his weapon. "Then they'll have to go through both of us." Energy blasts tore through the forest, scorching bark and vaporizing rain. Aiden fired back blindly, ducking behind a trunk as a plasma bolt hissed past his ear. He could smell ozone and burning soil. "They're adapting," Lyra warned, clutching her side. "Their sensors are filtering emotional noise." "Great," Aiden muttered. "Now we're fighting robots with feelings." Her faint smile faltered as pain rippled through her features. She sank to her knees, light flickering erratically under her skin. Aiden knelt beside her, panic cutting through his exhaustion. "Hey, stay with me." Her eyes glowed dimly. "The implant, it's synchronizing with the retrievers. They're using it to drain me. If they succeed, they'll extract my entire emotional pattern, and yours." Aiden didn't fully understand the science, but he understood loss. "How do I stop it?" Lyra hesitated. "You can't, not without linking your neural signature to mine. The connection could kill you. It's irreversible." A beat of silence. Rain hammered the canopy. "You trust me?" he asked. "No," she whispered, "but I want to." He took her hands, pressing his forehead to hers. The contact triggered a surge of light, golden lines spiraling between them, weaving through the storm. Suddenly, he wasn't in the forest anymore. Images flooded his mind. Alien cities floating in darkness, lifeless faces illuminated by sterile blue light, beings dissecting art as if it were disease. Lyra's memories, her loneliness, her rebellion. Aiden gasped, overwhelmed by her grief, and a wonder when she first saw Earth's laughter, its chaos, its music. He felt it all. When he opened his eyes, they were still connected, breathing as one. "You saw it," she said weakly. "My world." The continuum believes emotion is contagion. They built us to feel just enough to study others, then erase what lingered. A low mechanical voice echoed through the rain. "Evaluate to Lyra. Terminate connection." Aiden turned. From the shadows emerged a figure, sleek, silver and unmistakably alive. A humanoid with no face, yet eyes that gleamed with purpose. "Who's that?" Aiden demanded. "My creator," Lyra whispered. "Commander Val-El." The figure raised a hand. "You've contaminated her human," it said coldly. "Now I must cleanse you both." Aiden stood between Lyra and Commander Val, rain streaming down his face, the forest burning in flashes of blue light. His pulse thundered louder than the storm. "You call it cleansing," he said, voice rough. "I call it fear." Val tilted his head, curious but empty. "Fear is waste. We perfected existence without it." "Then you perfected nothing," Aiden shot back. "You cut out the part that makes life worth surviving." The commander raised a hand, light gathering in his palm. Lyra pushed herself up, shaking. The glow under her skin flared bright enough to paint the forest in living gold. "Stop," she cried. "If you erase us, you erase proof that empathy can evolve." Val hesitated, a flicker of uncertainty, the tiniest crack in precision. Aiden saw it. He pressed a palm to Lyra's chest, where their bond pulsed faintly, and let the connection open again. Memories spilled outward like light through glass. His mother's laugh, campfires, first heartbreak, all the fragile, messy pieces that define being human. Lyra joined him, adding her own endless cities of silence, the first spark of joy when she learned to feel, the moment she saw his kindness. The wave hit Val. His eyes flickered. Around them, retrievers froze mid-stride, their chrome bodies trembling as streams of emotion, color, sound, warmth, poured through the neural net. "What is this?" Val whispered. "Feeling," Lyra answered. "Unfiltered. Shared." Lightning tore open the sky. Every machine light in the valley pulsed in time with her heartbeat. Aiden held her tighter, grounding her as the overload surged. The forest shimmered like dawn breaking. When the light finally dimmed, the retrievers knelt motionless, their armor reflecting colors never seen before. Val's voice came softer now. "We were wrong." Then he vanished in a burst of fading blue, the network collapsing peacefully. Silence returned. The storm eased. Aiden looked at Lyra, exhausted, trembling, but alive. "So," he said quietly, "still think letting you in was a mistake." Her laugh was weak but real. "You warmed more than a tent tonight, Aiden Cross." He smiled, brushing a raindrop from her cheek. "Guess empathy's contagious after all." Overhead, the clouds parted, two species standing beneath a single, widening sky.